KidNuz fans, did you know there's a way to hear the news without hearing ads? Parents and teachers can subscribe to Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts to not only ditch the commercials, but also unlock access to future bonus episodes and other exclusives from the Starglow Media Network. That means ad-free listening of KidNuz every weekday, plus ad-free episodes of Mysteries About True Histories for riddle-obsessed adventurers, Girl Tales for a fun spin on fairy tales, Musicland Stories to help young music lovers catch the beat, and audiobooks adapted for young listeners with classic titles, including Little Women and Moby Dick. Visit starglowmedia.com/subscribe to sign up for Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts or wherever you like to listen. That's starglowmedia.com/subscribe.
Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. And we begin with a big loss for the Big Mac. After a long legal battle, McDonald's lost a trademark dispute over the name of its famous burger. An Irish fast food rival that sells chicken sandwiches is called Super Mac. And Mickey D's objected when Super Mac wanted to expand into other European countries, claiming consumers would be confused over the similarity in the names. But a few days ago, a judge sided with Super Mac, saying the U.S. giant failed to prove it was using the Big Mac label over a 5-year period for poultry products. The Big Mac, made with 2 beef patties and other toppings, was invented in 1968 by a franchise owner in Pennsylvania who thought the company needed a sandwich that appealed to adults. We all know there's too much trash in our oceans, but at least one type of creature seems to be putting some of it to good use. More and more hermit crabs with soft bodies that usually live inside seashells for protection are using garbage instead. A recent study by Polish scientists found nearly 400 images on social media of hermit crabs holed up in plastic caps, glass bottles, or even the metal part of a broken light bulb. And this is happening all over the world, from Africa to Central America. The study's co-author told the BBC, at first she found the pictures heartbreaking, but at the same time, we need to understand that we're living in a different era, and animals are making use of what's available to them. Another top U.S. school is bringing back standardized tests. Stanford University, like many other colleges, decided to drop a requirement for undergraduate applicants to submit an SAT or ACT score during the pandemic. Now, the San Jose Mercury News reports the Bay Area school will start requiring the college admission tests for students applying in the fall of 2025. Other schools that have reinstated this requirement include Harvard, Yale, Caltech, and Dartmouth. All agree that research supports the use of these exams as an important predictor of academic performance in college. But others have questioned the fairness of these tests, which can give an edge to students who attend better quality high schools and have the money for tutoring to get a higher score. It was an exciting finish at the French Open. On Sunday, the men's final went to a maximum 5 sets, with Spain's Carlos Alcaraz winning the tennis title for the first time, defeating Alexander Zverev of Germany. And on Saturday, the women's final also went to a maximum 3 sets, with top-seeded Iga Świątek of Poland hanging on to claim her 3rd French Open in 4 years against unseeded Karolina Muchova, who is Czech. One American who won a title? Coco Gauff and her partner, Katerina Siniakova, won the women's doubles. The next Grand Slam tournament will be Wimbledon, starting on Monday, July 1st. A rocket-firing hand-painted Star Wars action figure has become the most valuable vintage toy in the world. According to a press release from Heritage Auctions, the pristine example of the rare Boba Fett figurine fetched $525,000 on Friday. This toy was never released to the public because the small red rocket that was part of the toy was considered a choking hazard. And the only reason there are still 2 in existence is that someone at the toy factory rescued them from a box of discarded toys back in 1979. The previous record for most valuable vintage toy was held by a one-of-a-kind Barbie wearing a 1-carat diamond. Still to come, where you can find a museum of dinosaur poop. But first, we want to shout out Annika Godgankar of San Mateo, California, who turned 11 last week and is graduating from 5th grade tomorrow. Annika, we hear you are caring, bright, and an amazing big sister to Ahila. Your family hopes you had the happiest birthday, and they share your excitement for 6th grade. Now, today's KidNuz quiz. Which sea creature is using trash as a makeshift shelter? Hermit crabs. What's the name of the Irish fast food chain that won a legal battle with McDonald's? Supermac. When will Stanford start requiring SAT or ACT scores? In the fall of 2025. What was the winning bid for a rare Star Wars Boba Fett action figure? $525,000. In our KidNuz Kicker, this is definitely not your traditional museum. A first-of-its-kind Pooseum has just opened in Williams, Arizona. And as you might guess from the name, it's a museum of dinosaur poo. But don't worry about the stink. All the displayed items are fossilized and are millions of years old. This unique display was set up by George Franson, who tells the BBC he started building this collection when he was a teenager because he found them both funny and interesting. Before we go, a big shout out again to the Godgankars of San Mateo, California, who sponsored today's quiz. And we want to wish Annika, who loves reading and Legos, a happy belated birthday and an awesome graduation tomorrow. And say hello to her teachers, Mrs. Allen and Mr. Leos at Belmont Oaks Academy in Belmont. And it's time to recognize some of our other terrific KidNuz classrooms, Ms. Manuel and her Hawks at Home School in Oak Park, Illinois. Miss Bollinger and her Roadrunners at Baldy Mesa and Phelan, California. Mrs. Austin and Lenore the Service Dog at Bryant in Owasso, Michigan. And Miss Lynn at the English Academy in Kale, Myanmar. A quick programming note, we're still working through the teachers on our shout-out lists, so we won't get to everyone by the time we start our summer break next week. Sign-ups for the 2024-25 school year will open in August. Listen for announcements on our podcast and our website and try to jump in the queue fast. It typically fills up in the first month or so. And don't forget to check out our Summer Slump Busters starting Monday to keep those news neurons firing while on summer break. We hope you tune in for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.